Hey everyone, it's Bill here. This is the Criterion September 2024 announcements reaction from yours truly. Better late than ever, I know, a few days late, but hey, I had some things to do. But with that being said, I'm going to dive right in because this month is quite possibly the best month in a long time. I mean, July was great, but holy free holies, guys. I'm just going to dive right in because releasing September 3rd, we have a 4K upgrade of Repo Man, spy number 654. I used to own the Blu-ray of this film, and I do believe it is an absolute joyride, thrill ride of a punk spectacle. Without a doubt, Repo Man's cover is one of my favorites, and I'm glad that they stuck with this one for a 4K upgrade, even though I do support greatly that the covers be different for 4K upgrades. I do like this one. I think you can't really improve upon this one. It's pretty masterful as is. So I'm going to read the description for the film and then I'll tell you a bit of the deets. A quintessential cult film of the 80s, Alex Cox's singular sci-fi comedy stars the always captivating Harry Dean Stanton as a weathered repo man in a desolate Los Angeles, and Emilio Estevez as the nihilistic middle-class punk he takes under his wing. The job becomes more than either of them bargained for when they get involved in repossessing a mysterious and otherworldly Chevy Malibu, with a hefty reward attached to it. Featuring the ultimate early 80s LA punk soundtrack, this grungily hilarious odyssey is also a politically trenchant take on President Reagan's domestic and foreign policies. Pretty great description, I gotta be honest, and I've noticed the disc comes with it's in Dolby Vision HDR, so God bless. Got some HDR. I feel like that is just essential for any 4K disc. If it's not, it really makes me uninterested in picking it up. But I've noticed that in terms of the special features, we still have the same audio commentary. We have roundtable discussions, interviews, a few deleted scenes, including Cox's cleaned up, quote-unquote, television version of the film. But other than that, it's pretty similar. You know, all you're getting is just the Ultra HD disc. This next film, however, I'm very excited that it's entering the collection. It is All of Us Strangers, releasing September 10th in 4K, baby. Spy number 1234. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I was wondering what film would get that iconic spine number. It's cool to see that it's All of Us Strangers out of any film. And to be honest, guys, I didn't think that this film would get a release physically at all. It is owned by Searchlight Pictures, or distributed at least, and that is a sister company of Disney, who purchased them when they were 20th Century Fox. And since then, Disney has not really been putting out much physical media at all, really. I'm actually really happy that this film is getting a physical release, let alone a Criterion release. That's just so fucking awesome to see. I feel like it was probably because of Andrew Haig's existing relationship with Criterion, seeing as he has 45 years and Weekend already there. So All of Us Strangers only makes sense. And I feel like this is a pretty worthwhile film, like a pretty staple film from last year that definitely deserves a spot in the collection. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. I just recently watched it, and I'm so glad that this film exists. It truly touches on an emotional heartstring for me, and for anyone who's ever suffered the loss of a really close family member. And just let me just read the Criterion description, and then yeah, we'll take it from there. A metaphysical exploration of queer love and loneliness, familial grief and healing, this delicate but audacious chamber drama confirms director Andrew Haig's gift for bringing complicated emotions to the screen. Isolated in a seemingly empty new high-rise, London screenwriter Adam, played by Andrew Scott, finds his solitary existence upended when he begins a passionate romance with the impulsive Harry, played by Paul Mescal, then reconnects with his parents, Jamie Bell and Claire Foy, in a reunion that pushes beyond the limits of time and space. Putting a deeply personal imprint on a novel by Japanese writer Taichi Yamada, Haig reaches cosmic heights while never losing sight of the story's achingly human heart. That's a perfect description for the film. I think that it's one of the most surprising films from 2023. It really takes it to levels that you would not expect, and I think it's a really tender and heartfelt story that I am super excited to pick up in Dolby Vision HDR. God bless. In terms of special features, there's not really a lot going on other than a few interviews with the crew, but I'm just really happy that this film has a physical release. It makes me interested in seeing if any other Disney, Fox type production films get released from Criterion. I'm thinking of The Straight Story first and foremost. That would be amazing if they released that film. I would be honored to own that in my collection, as I would with All of Us Strangers. Next up is a 4K upgrade of an out-of-print title, The Long Good Friday. Spine number 26 from 1980. This is a UK classic from John Mackenzie, a crime classic, if you will. A combustible performance from Bob Hoskins is the fuse that lights this underworld saga, a landmark of British crime cinema. Hoskins plays Harold Shand, an ambitious London mobster who, just as he attempts to close a major real estate deal with the American mafia, finds his crime empire rocked by a string of attacks, sending him on a ruthless quest to find out who's responsible. Abetted by an ice-cool performance from Helen Mirren as Shand's in-command Moll, The Long Good Friday is not only a gripping gangster thriller, but also a vivid portrait of late 70s Britain, a powder keg of cultural and political tensions on the verge of explosion. That sounds very enticing. Dolby Vision HDR, as always, best believe. And I actually haven't seen this film yet, but it sounds like it's up my alley. The only other Bob Hoskins film I've seen, besides from, of course, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, is Mona Lisa. That's a good film, for sure. It's from a different filmmaker, of course, but still, you know, Bob Hoskins, crime cinema, it's always a recipe for spectacle and insanity. So I definitely want to check out The Long Good Friday. I'm very happy that Criterion is bringing back this film that was out of print for a long time, and in 4K, no doubt, and with a new cover. The new cover looks miles better than the DVD original. So yeah, just short, sweet, you know, The Long Good Friday. Haven't seen it yet, but very excited that it's in the collection. Next up, releasing September 24th, probably my most anticipated release from this month. It is Greg Araki's Teen Apocalypse trilogy, spine number 1233, in Blu-ray and in 4K. Heck yeah, this is the description. Take the conventions of the American teen movie, transpose them to LA's freaky fringes, anchor them in an unapologetic vision of sexual fluidity, and top it all off with heavy doses of Gen X disillusionment, gonzo violence, and hallucinogenic surrealism. And you'll end up with something like these audacious transgressions from new queer cinema renegade Greg Araki, gleefully mixing slacker irony with raw sincerity, Godardian cool with punk scuzz, the savagely subversive, hormone-fueled films that make up the Teen Apocalypse trilogy pushed 90s indie cinema into bold new aesthetic realms while giving blistering expression to adolescent rage and libidinal desire. I'm guessing it's libido. Weird word. That's a weird word to end it all off. But that is one of the best descriptions I think I've ever read on Criterion's website. And I absolutely love the cover they chose for Greg Araki's Teen Apocalypse trilogy, with Totally Effed Up, The Doom Generation, and Nowhere. Perfect films. I have not seen Nowhere yet, but I absolutely love the other two. I assume I'm going to love Nowhere. I heard that the 4K remaster is going to be premiering on the Criterion channel next month, so as soon as that releases, I'm definitely going to watch it just to seal the deal with picking up this box set. I have been pleading with Criterion for so long, most of the community has, for Greg Araki's films to enter the collection, I really, really, really want Mysterious Skin. That's the number one film of his I want in the collection, but I'm totally okay with these three. The Doom Generation in particular is one of my favorites from him. Just three completely insane films that definitely deserve their spotlight in the physical media community, and I'm glad that they're preserved and so lovingly as well. I see there's the two films that will be in 4K is the Doom Generation Nowhere. Sadly, Totally Effed Up is only going to be in Blu-ray, but that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine with me. New audio commentaries for Nowhere, including an audio commentary for Totally Effed Up. There's a ton of... There's actually so much in the special features that I'm looking through. I don't really want to go into all of them, but this is truly a treat to behold, and I love that it's in a nice little digipack. Look at the graphic design on this release is impeccable. I'm so happy that this is in the collection. This is one of the most essential, I think, to pick up. So whenever the 50% off flash sale happens, this will be my number one purchase for sure. Followed by my number two, which is the next film to be released. The final film to be released for September. I think it's the one most of you here clicked on this video are excited for. It's Happiness from Todd Solondz. Spine number 1235. A 4K restoration of a film from a bygone era that has barely seen the light of day in the physical media community, aside from an egregious DVD from way back when. My God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? This is probably one of the most sought-after films from the Criterion community. People have been begging and pleading. It's just like After Hours and Inland Empire. It's just that film that people have been pleading for so long to enter the collection, to get a physical release, and what do you know, it's happened. I absolutely love that they stuck with the original poster design, but kind of remixed it in a sense. It just looks so clean and perfect. I'm going to read the description that's on their website. As disturbingly funny as it is audaciously empathetic, auteur of Unease, Todd Solondz's portrait of damaged souls reaching out for connection reveals the existential void underneath middle-class suburban normalcy. An extraordinary ensemble cast including Philip Seymour Hoffman, Jane Addams, Laura Flynn Boyle, Ben Gazzara, and Dylan Baker embodies an array of loosely connected New Jersey deviants, depressives, and misfits. Among them, a frustrated phone sex pest, an all-American dad concealing his pedophilic urges, and a lonely woman with a grisly secret, all of whom want just one thing: to be loved. One of the most controversial films of the 1990s, the unflinching Happiness unnerves precisely because it dares to see the humanity in those most often denied it. Ooh, that is a pretty heavy description, but I think it's also really accurate to how the film is. I say this, but I actually have not seen Happiness before because it's unavailable anywhere in the streaming world. You can't really find any way to watch it that's legal. I'm sure it's on like effedupmovies.com or some sort of website, but I don't really indulge in piracy or anything like that. I like to just watch my movies the way I can and in HD quality, preferably not in 360p or anything like that. So there really hasn't been a proper way to watch this film aside from that DVD release, I think, years ago. Maybe there's a Blu-ray release somewhere from like another country, but this is it. This is the first time this film is going to be widely available in the States. I'm very excited about that. I am 100% going to be blind buying this film so I can watch it in the proper Ultra HD HDR Dolby Vision disc. I'm so excited about that. In terms of special features, I see Charlotte Wells interviews Todd Solondz, so that's awesome. Very awesome. Oh, if only Aftersun could share a Criterion release with this. But, yeah, this is huge. This is really huge, guys. Monumental release for Criterion. These three in general. All of Us Strangers, a Disney release. Happiness, who is now out of the abyss. And Gregoraki, finally in the collection. I'm sure there's so much more to come, and it's kind of ironic that this is the first month to be announced since Criterion was bought by Stephen Rails, who is a big Wes Anderson supporter. He also started Indian Paintbrush, the production company. I didn't really touch much on that when it happened, because I'm sure you guys were beaten over the head by the news, but yeah, Criterion was sold, and including Janus Films. So we've got a new owner. I'm sure Stephen Rails walked into the Criterion's headquarters and was like, "What the fuck? You guys haven't dropped Happiness yet? Get on that." And so instantly released it, because September usually doesn't release these big, heavy-hitting films. So yeah, those are my thoughts, guys. Probably one of the best months Criterion has ever had in history, and I'm very excited to pick up all these films when they get released, when they're 50% off only, though. Who the hell would buy something full price? Please leave a like and comment which of these films are you most excited for, and what's going to be the new White Whale, the new Happiness to be released. Mine is either Eyes Wide Shut on 4K or The Straight Story. Those two films desperately need a nice 4K upgrade. But yeah, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. I love the film community here that we're building upon. And yeah, have a good day. Watch a good film. This has been Bill, guys. See you later.